Hey guys, this is actually kind of a follow-up video to a video I did several months ago where I checked out 3 floor mats, 2 from Husky and 1 from WeatherTech. And if you haven't seen that one, I recommend you go check it out. I'll go ahead and throw a link to that one in the upper right corner of this video so that you can go check it out if you haven't already. But this is going to be a follow-up video. A lot of you guys were asking me to check out 2 other brands that I'd never heard of. So I went out and got a floor liner from each of these companies that you guys were asking for. The one on the left is, and I'm never going to pronounce this right, I'm sure, Oredo, I don't know how it's pronounced. And then the one on the right is Max Liner. So I did buy the Max Liner liners myself off of Amazon. The Oredo floor liners, they actually sent me for free so that I could do this video. So I do want to put that out there that they did send those to me, but as always, this will still remain a non-biased review. But I did purchase the ones on the right from Max Liner because I wasn't able to hear from them in time. So let's go ahead and get these in the truck, and we're going to check them out. I'm really excited to see what they offer because they're cheaper than the big brand WeatherTech and Husky liners, and I think they're probably going to be very comparable. So let's check them out. So I'll start with this one as kind of a baseline. This is the Husky Exact Contour floor mat from my first video. Like I said, if you haven't checked out that first video, go check it out. But from that video, this is the one I liked the most. This is the one I have been using for several months since I made that video. Now I'll kind of review some of the highlights on this one. It is a kind of a flexible rubber material, but it holds its shape. It is molded exactly to the shape of the floor here. And it does a pretty good job of catching all of the crap that I managed to throw on the ground. So let's go get one of the new ones and throw it in and see what it looks like. Alright, so we'll take the Husky out. Alright, so the first floor mat I'm going to use is the OEDRO, or however you pronounce it. Now I have been using this one for the past week or so, and if you did watch the first video, this one is going to be a lot more similar to the WeatherTech. It has a much more rigid construction, although I don't have the WeatherTechs anymore, but it's a lot more flexible than the WeatherTechs, I believe. So it has that like semi-rigid structure to it, but it's still a flexible rubber instead of being like a hard plastic, so it's not quite as uncomfortable under your feet as I thought the WeatherTechs were. It's also got this nice metal nameplate right there. Well, I don't know if that would last very long or not, but we would see. And then, of course, it's got the 2 cleats to secure to the floor. The one thing that this does not have that most of the other models do is raised edges around all 4 sides to catch any liquids or melting snow or ice or whatever you may have off your boots in the floor mat. If you drop something here, it'll channel it, but it's got no way to keep it from rolling out of the floor mat. So that is one downside that I'm noticing from this, but I do like the construction of it, and it does offer good protection. You can see up along the side here, it goes most of the way up the wall of the center console, and it goes a pretty far way under the pedals, so it does offer pretty good protection and coverage. Alright, next is the Max Liner. Let's see if we can't get it to clip in. Alright, so there is the Max Liner. The first thing I noticed right away is that it offers the most protection out of every floor mat I've looked at, including these 2 and then the 3 that I looked at the first time. It actually wraps around the seat rails and goes under the seats a good almost probably 6 inches further than most of these other mats. And it has a little lip on the inside under the seat here to catch anything that might roll back there, mud or snow or whatever. It has the cleats, obviously. Same thing with the protection up the sidewall and under the pedals, very good. A little bit better than the last floor mat with having a little bit of a raised edge here to keep stuff from sloshing out. Although it could run down here, it's going to do a little bit better. I would like to see a more defined reservoir. A lot of the other floor mats advertise a reservoir down here at your feet to catch liquids. Neither of these floor mats are offering that very well, so I'd like to see that a little bit better The other thing with this is a hard plastic. This is not rubbery at all. It is a hard plastic, almost like a molded plastic that's been trimmed. So it's going to be very plasticky and almost, I would worry about it being slippery if you got like oil or you know, snow or ice or something slippery on there. I would worry about it almost being slick instead of a little having better traction like the other floor mats. So gives and takes with both models. This one's got the more coverage. The other one's got a better material, in my opinion. In fact, the OEDRO has the best material, in my opinion. I like it more than the Husky Exact Contour because of the Exact Contour still has a very rubbery feel, but I didn't like the hard plastic of the WeatherTech, which is very similar to this one. So I think it's a nice compromise on the OEDRO, so that makes that the best material, in my opinion. I don't like this kind of hard plastic. It just doesn't feel good quality. But it does go into the seat a lot more. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Removing the Max Liner, the retaining clip separated. It didn't break, it's just kind of cheaply made. So I have to put that back together, but just something to note that it's a pretty cheap retaining clip, just a cheap plastic. These mats include a much nicer plastic clip. It's much more well constructed. It is still a two-piece design, but they included a spare one in the kit in case one of yours broke. But these ones don't seem to have any problem with installation removal like the Max Liners did. So I also went ahead and bought the rear floor liner for both of these as well. This is the Husky Exact Contour model. It is the same kind of rubbery material as the Husky floor mat. But it does kind of curl up on some of the corners, especially under the two front seats. So that is not a big deal, but I definitely like having a rear floor liner. If you got kids, I don't, but I do have two large dogs, as you might be able to tell by the copious amounts of dog hair. But it is nice to have this in the back. So I'm going to try the two new rear floor liners and see how those work. So keeping things in the same order, I'm doing the OEDRO one first. This is the same kind of hard rubber, not as soft as the Husky. It's kind of a hybrid material. It's kind of how I'm referring to it. Same as their front floor mats. Obviously, this is a much more aggressive pattern on the floor, and it goes full coverage. You might notice here it's sticking up a little bit. So a lot of times these bigger floor mats do this in shipping. I'm hoping that that will relax over time and that it doesn't bunch up under the door. That would be a killer for me, deal killer for me. But one thing I did like is under the front side, there's full border all the way around. So if you've got kids who spill drinks, it will not go on the carpet under the seats. Now that doesn't obviously extend all the way around, but it does keep the carpets protected from the front of the truck. So I like this one a lot more than my Husky one, actually. Let me get the Max Liner in here and see how I like that one. No floor cleats on this one. It doesn't even have the little pokey things on the bottom. The Husky one has little pokey things all across it to keep it from sliding around. This one doesn't have anything to attach it to the floor. But it doesn't seem to be moving too much just because it's the exact width of the truck. So not too big of an issue, but it would be nice if they had some kind of way to keep it from sliding around too much. Okay, now here is the Max Liner. Sticking with their theme of the hard plastic, this is the same kind of hard plastic molded and trimmed plastic that they used in the front liners. Now you might be able to tell, you might not on the camera, how wavy this is across the floor. This was folded up in half for shipping, and the material did not handle that very well. So there's a big hump in the middle of it, and then all of the edges are turning up. If you look down here in the corner, it is significantly turned up. This would definitely catch the door as it closed. If this does not improve over time, this is a definitely not recommendable product, because that's just gonna get worse and worse every time you close the door. So it does offer the same kind of channeling around the front leading edges under the seats like the OEDRO did, so that's nice. Again, not a super big fan of this material, Although since it's the back seat, it's not as bad. This might be appropriate if you've got kids back here. This is probably an easier material to clean because it's that hard plastic from your kids dropping stuff if you've got that kind of a situation. But with these kind of folds in it and stuff from shipping, it's going to be a hard recommendation if those don't get better. So that's the Husky Exact Contour. Then we have the OEDRO. You can see it's peeling up a little bit on the corner there, but I would expect that to kind of get better over time. And then we have the 3D Max Liner, which is just kind of all over the place. Hopefully that would get better as well over time. And here are the 3 front floor liners. The Husky Exact Contour on the right, the OEDRO in the middle, and the Max Liner on the left. Obviously you can see the significant size increase with the Max Liner versus the other two. You can also see kind of the material difference. The Husky Liner on the right is laying as flat as possible. It's that flexible, malleable rubber material. The OEDRO is holding its shape. It's got that more rigid plasticky rubber. And then the Max Liner on the left is the molded plastic, has very little flex in it at all. Because you guys asked for them, here they are. A very short video, but I wanted to get these out and review them for you guys. I'm probably not going to keep the Max Liner. I'm probably going to keep the OEDRO. I was excited when I saw how much further back under the seat it went, because obviously the more protection the better, but I really am not a fan of this material, unfortunately. If you don't mind so much, then it's probably going to be the best one as far as coverage, but if you're concerned about the material under your feet, I think the OEDRO is the winner in that category. So I'll go back and forth between the OEDRO and the Husky to figure out which one I want to keep, but for now I'm going to try the OEDRO. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, if you guys prefer one or the other, or what kind of features you're looking for in a floor mat. But also, I want to know what kind of other videos you want to see, because I'm running out of ideas, and like I said, this is a suggestion from you guys, and I want to do more suggestions from you guys. So in the comments, leave me suggestions what kind of videos you want to see, and I will do my best to get those taken care of for you. Thanks guys. If you like this video, hit the like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this for you. So thanks for watching guys.